Oh, hey guys, I'm still playing with Bernoulli's principle. Remember, we're in the middle of physics in this week. We're having a great time with Bernoulli's principle. This one is just so much fun. I'm having a blast with it. We did all kinds of things in our last meeting. Matter of fact, remember we said Bernoulli's principle, whenever you have a fluid, we're using air right here as a fluid. The faster it moves, the less pressure it has. And we learned that when you put it through a tube, it shoots out. And we're doing some really cool stuff. Now, in our last video, what we were doing is all kinds of things. We were using bendy straws, using flat straws, we were using funnels. And we learned that it didn't matter how we did it. Bernoulli's principle can be used in a lot of different ways. But at the very end of last video, I said something about using a fluid that wasn't water. Excuse me, it wasn't air, it was water. And I didn't get to that because we ran out of time. But we're going to start with that one today. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it up a notch. Sort of like NASA. We're taking it up big next. We're going to take it all outside here in a few minutes. But I want to show you a couple of things that maybe you haven't seen. Here's what we're going to do. Miss Christie's going to come over here real quick. And we're going to take I've got a pan of water. And I've just got a bowl. It doesn't matter what kind of bowl, but I've got water. And I've got this ping pong ball. It's got a line on it so you can see it. And remember, Bernoulli's principle said that if you're going to have high-speed fluid, there it is, it's coming out of the sink, it's going to produce less pressure. Watch what happens when I put the ping pong ball. That's pretty cool. Look how it's spinning around. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to move that water. Look, I move that water around and it stays with the water. Why? Well, it does that because that's where the low pressure is, and it's pulled in by the low pressure. Now, I'm going to pull this off because my sink does this a little easier. I'm going to get it where I want it. There it goes. I can really move it around. I don't want to move it too fast. That ping pong ball will follow me around wherever I'm going. Why? High-speed fluid, in this case it's water, I can get it to do work. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to leave that water running. This time I have a ping pong ball with some thread on it. I got some really high-strength tape, or you could super glue it to it if you wanted to, but that would ruin it. Okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to let it touch the water like that. Now, you see how I did that? Let me do that again. Okay? Watch it from there. Now look how it's almost frozen. Now, watch what I do with the string. Pull the string way out here. It's still in the water. You see that? The string's way out here. Why? There's my low pressure. Now, it really looks like magic. As Miss Christie gets real close to this ping pong ball, look, it's almost frozen right where it is. Look at that. Look how cool that is. Why? It's the low pressure. Stay right there, Miss Christie. I'm going to let it swing back in one more time. Here it comes. Watch it just grab a hold of it. And it just looks like it freezes. It almost looks like, oh, the tape came loose. Okay? But it almost looks like magic. Okay? It's sucked in and it's holding it. And even though I pulled that string out the side, it just held it. Because it was such a high tension on that low pressure. So I'm going to see if I can get it taped on there one more time. If it doesn't, that's okay. I got it to do it. Okay, let's do it one more time if we can, Miss Christie. Maybe it'll hold on, but that tape's got pretty wet now. Nope, it's not going to do it. That's okay. All right, so what we did is we learned that the fluid, okay, so as we had this water on there, it was spinning that around, and we even did it in a different way. Now, probably the coolest of all Bernoulli's principle is how we have airplanes. Airplanes work and fly on Bernoulli's principle. So here's a really cool one. Some of you are really crafty. You're good with crafts. So what we're going to do for a minute is we're going to make some airplanes, and we're going to take them outside. So I'm going to show you how to make two different kinds of airplanes. Okay? Now, there are a lot better ones than the ones I'm going to make. You can look on YouTube and there are tutorials. This is a great way to use your time and dexterity and following instructions. This is a great one, parents, for students. Here, try to make these. Now, what I'm going to use is I'm just going to use copy paper. But a little thicker paper, maybe your mom has a little bit nicer piece of paper. It's a little thicker and a little more sturdy, maybe more like construction paper, but not quite that thick. It'll do a little bit better for you. But we're just going to make a couple of airplanes, and my son Braden happens to be home, and we're going to take it all outside, and we're going to ramp it up. All right, remember, we're going to ramp it up like NASA. We're going to have a great time. So let's make a couple of these together. Here's what we're going to do first. You want to take that piece of paper, and you want to fold it lengthwise. Now, the thing I learned about this is you always want to make sure that your seam is really, really solid. Okay, and you're going to open that up. And then here's the first one I'm going to make. This is the one I learned as a kid. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'm going to make it like this. You're going to fold that ear down just like that. You're going to make that really, 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 really good seam right there. And then you're going to take this one and you're going to do the same thing. Now, here's the mistake I used to make. See that line I started with? I'll show it to you real quick. There's that line right there that I gave you right there to start with. Try not to cross over that line. Okay, you want to make it as steady as you can. Make that really tight like that. I'm going to fold that over on that seam. Now in both of these, that center line that I started with, is what you're going to build everything off of. And this one's a very simple one. This is great for younger kids. Okay. Now notice I pulled this down just to have a little bit of a flight. Okay. Actually, if I want to make it a little bit better, I can make the wing like this. You can choose. Okay. But I like to make mine like this. Okay. Turn it over and do the same thing. Try to match it on the other side. And this is a very, very simple airplane. Okay. Very simple airplane that you can throw. Is it the best in the world? No, it's not, because I folded it 2 different ways to make the wings. Now, if I wanted the wings to look the other way, then I could bring them down in a different way, or I could really bring them down like this. Okay? These are all options that you have. Look how that one looks, and it's really streamlined on the bottom. Okay? So if I wanted to fold it this other way, I can make it really, really streamlined on the bottom like this. Okay, and get that really on the seam really good. And that changes the way my airplane looks a little bit. Okay. Is it the best airplane in the world? No, there's a lot of tutorials on really good ones, but I'm going to show you one that's a little bit better. One that's a glider. Okay, so there's your first one. Okay. The second one's going to start the same way. Okay. So we're going to start, take a piece of paper like this, go right down the middle. We're going to make that line really good. Okay. And so again, how an airplane flies is Bernoulli's principle. How does that work? Let me explain real quick. When you throw an airplane, you're going to have air going over and under the wing. And on a real airplane, it does the same thing. Okay? You have air that goes over the top of the wing and under the flat part of the wing. If you've ever looked at a real airplane, you have a curve on the top and it's flat on the bottom. The curve on the top makes the wind speed higher on the top. From Bernoulli's principle, we said the faster the air goes, the less pressure, right? And so what's going to happen is as the air does that, you're going to have what they call lift. Air pressure is going to push up and that airplane's able to go up in the air, okay? And so that's what's happening. Now, on a wing like this, when I make a paper airplane, what I want it to do is when I throw it, I want it to float on air as far as it can go. All right? Is this the kind of wing that's on an airplane? No, a wing on an airplane is not really thin like that. Okay? It's going to be curved on the top and flat on the bottom. All right? So let's look at our other design. Okay? This one's going to do the same kind of start. You're going to go down the middle, and you're going to open it up. Okay? And it's going to look the same for a minute, then it's going to really change. I want to go to the center line, make that one really folded good. Then I want to go to the center line again. Just like that, as best as I can. Now watch what I'm about to do. See the point? That's not going to be the point of the airplane. I'm going to have, see that line right there? I want to fold all of that over, all the way, and I want that point to touch that folded line in the middle. I want it to be right in the center, just like that. Okay? So let me show you what that looks like. See, I folded it over, just like that. Now, I want to make that same wing that I did a while ago. We'll go ahead and bring that down just like that. So what's going to happen on this airplane, it works a lot better. And the reason this one works better is because it has much more sturdy in the front. So it cuts through the air better. It's more of a glider. Okay. I'm going to do it like that. Okay, so see what's happening? All right. Now, I'm going to do almost the same thing I did a while ago. Remember we folded it here? This time I want to do it slightly different. See that point? And there's that point that's under the edge of the first one. See it right there? I want them to touch each other. So I want them to go right there and touch each other just like that. Now here's where it starts getting hard because I got a lot of paper in there. I got to really seal that down. Okay, I got to really crease that good. Okay, everything's creased real good. Now watch. It's going to bend in my original fold right there. See how it's almost matching? I'm going a little too fast. I'd want to go a little slower if I'm making a quality one. Okay? And I got to really, here's where it's super thick. I want you to see that. Boy, there's a lot right there, okay? So I really got to push down really hard on that, really hard on that. Now, here's the trick. There's a corner there, and I want that corner to touch that corner. So you got to really work with this. You got to go a little bit slow right here. Make that corner come down to that corner just like that. And I need to crease that again. Boy, I got to really push on that. And so if you have younger kids, you're really going to have to help them with this part. Okay. I want to do the same thing on the other side. Flip it over. I want that corner to touch that corner. So we're going to take that right there. It's going to bend right there in the middle as best as I can. I'll bend that around. I've got to manipulate it under the camera pretty good. We'll seal it right there. Okay, that's close to a straight line. Okay, I want that to line up good, just like that. And seal it really good and crease it really good. Boy, look at all that's right there in the middle. There's a lot right there, so I got to really crease on that. Now, last thing, I want to make a flap on the wing, and then I'm going to match it on the other one. Okay, now look what happens when I open it up. This one looks different, doesn't it? I'll pull that flap up like that. So here's one airplane, and here's another airplane. Do you think they fly the same way? No, they don't. They're built different, okay? And so you can try it out, okay? Now, kids, I know you're going to be a lot better at this than I am. I just learned a couple of them off YouTube. There are lots of people that teach you. Again, parents, this is a great way to practice following instructions, watching someone else do it, and then doing that. Great for dexterity. Hey, it's awesome for kids that are stuck at home. Maybe they want to paint it, they want to color it, they want to put markings on the side of it, they want the name on it, they can make emblems on it, they can make stories about it. You can be as original as you want with it. Now, what have we done so far? We took water as a fluid and saw what it did to a ping pong ball. And then we started making airplanes. Why? An airplane wing, okay? An airplane wing is curved on the top and flat on the bottom. So when you go to take off in an airplane, and I bet some of you have been in an airplane, as air goes faster over the top, there's less pressure. The higher pressure is really here, and you get lift, and the airplane goes up. So we're going to take it outside, and we're going to put all the parts together. So if you watch the other videos, it's about to get exciting. Why? Well, in the other videos, I was using a hair dryer. And I thought, I bet we could do something better. So I got with my son and we were talking, okay, what can we do? And he said, you know what? We have a lawn and leaf blower. Oh yeah, the one that you clean your yard with. That really blows air. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take it outside to finish up today, and we're going to see all the parts. We're going to do things with ping pong balls, and we're going to go bigger and better. Let's see what happens. All right, Brayden, let's go. Let's grab up our stuff, okay? We're going to take it outside. Come on, Baxter. Security dog, let's go. Come on. Come on. Here's what we're going to do first, okay? First thing I'm going to do is show you this. This is a little kid's toy. It's a propeller, okay? See how that thing spins? Can you see that, Miss Christie? Mm-hmm. Okay, and so what's going to happen is, okay, what happens is when that thing spins really fast, more pressure is pushing here and you get lift, and so watch. It's a little kid's toy. And so I'll step out here real quick so you can see how it works, okay? When I get it, whoops, the stick came out. Hang on, let me try it again. All right? Here it comes, okay? And it's a propeller. You get lift, and then it starts to fall. Throw me my plane, Brayden. Wow, look how far that one went. Hey, I'll get this one. No, I won't. I missed that one too. They fly great. I bet you can throw one that goes a lot further. Hang on, let's try one other thing, okay? I'm going to take this lawn and leaf blower, okay? And you remember this, we had a tube when we were at the inside. And we had a toilet paper tube. I got a lot longer tube. And so what we're going to do is we're going to build pressure. And I've got 4 ping pong balls right here. I bet you can see them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blow air across the end of this. And it makes a low pressure and it sucks that ball out. Let's see how we do. I've been practicing. Let's see if I can do this. This thing is loud. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens. Number 1. Whoa. Number 2. Number 3. And number 4, it worked great, okay? This thing blows up to 100 miles an hour when I hit the turbo. Check it out, okay? Turn it all the way up. So let's see. If it'll do that with a ping pong ball, I bet Brayden had a great idea. Let's try some things that are bigger, okay? Now, before we do the bigger, I want to show you one other thing. Check out what I've got here. We were dealing with water and ping pong balls a while ago. So I'm going to try this one. This one's a little harder. I have a cup that has a ping pong ball in it, and it's floating like I had in the sink a while ago. Now, we said a while ago, if you have low pressure, okay, low pressure, the ping pong ball will be sucked into it. But what if we did the opposite? What if we had high pressure? What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it on this stone. Now, what's going to happen is this. If I take a ping pong ball and drop it, it doesn't bounce very good, okay? But what we're going to do is we're going to drop this whole thing, and what should happen, it may take me, I got 3 tries, we'll see if it happens, is when I drop it, the pressure, when this cup hits the ground, the pressure is so great, all that pressure on that ping pong ball makes it do something different. Let's see. There's one. That one bounced a lot further, okay, than normal. Okay, here comes another one. Oh yeah, there's number 2. Thank you, Braden. Let's try one more time. Let's go for number 3. Here we go. Right there. I'm going to give it a real good try. Oh! Best for last. That was awesome. I bet we can do better, Braden. Let's go. Grab up the blower real quick. Okay, and we're going to try some other things. So we were just collecting up stuff we have at the house. Okay, so Braden's going to help me out. He was watching. And so I'm going to start with the blower on low, and we're going to see what a beach ball will do. Now, that is like a ping pong ball, but it's a lot bigger. It's full of air, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to start this thing on low, and we're going to see what we can get it to do. Oh, yeah. A little bit more pressure. Turning it up. All right, we're going to try. We're going turbo. Catch it, Braden. Look at that. That worked awesome. How did that work? There was such high pressure. Braden, bring it back one more time. Grab that shark. I forgot to tell you. I'm going to do it one more time. Okay? We're going to get air going around it so fast. And it just sort of sits there. How awesome is that? Good job, Braden. Catch it. Okay, good job. Now we're going to try some other things. We had some other things that we found from when Braden was a kid. Here's a little a ball used for a game, okay? We're going to start like this. Well, that wasn't doing very much, was it? I wonder why. I bet there's not as much pressure. This one is more dense. It has more to it. So I'm going to try it again. I'm going to turn up the pressure a little bit. Check this one out. Turn it up a little bit. Oh yeah, look at it float. Now, turbo! It's like magic. Good job, Braden. That one worked great. How about a little kid's ball? This one's made of foam, okay? That ball had air in it. This one's more solid. It's like a Nerf type ball, okay? So we're going to start sort of low. Not much. Add a little bit more. All right. Let's see where the turbo takes this one. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, hang on just a second, Braden. Look at it moving around. It's doing awesome. Ready? Go ahead and snatch it. That one worked great too. Here's the one I haven't seen yet. Braden and I tried this earlier. I couldn't find this on a single video. You see, when I was in high school, I played baseball. So did Braden. So we said, hey, try out one of my baseballs. Let's see if it works. Now, I already know I got to start pretty hard. So here we go. Now, I want you to notice how it's spinning. Catch it, Braden. I want to talk about that real quick. Why is it spinning like that one? Is that a smooth ball? Have you ever picked up a baseball? No, it's got threads on it, right? It's got the laces on it. And so what's happening is, as the air's going around, it's making it spin. Let's try it one more time. Watch it spin. Isn't that awesome? There it goes. Come on, spin. There it goes. All right, isn't that cool? That is so awesome, but we're going to end with the best finale of all, and I'm going to let Braden do it, but we're going to keep it hidden from you for a second. Okay, we're going to keep it hidden from you for just a second. Now, in the video, stand right behind me, Braden. In one of the videos, in the very first video, we talked about with a strip of paper, it was bent over and we blew air over it, and we said that whenever you speed up air, it has less pressure and it stood up. Well, what better way than to finish physics and Bernoulli's principle than like this. All right? What do I have in my hand? A great finale. Here we go! Yeah! Yeah! Toilet paper and the Bernoulli principle. I had an awesome time. We'll see you next week.